That's cybersecurity for you. It's murky, it's confusing. But with traditional security operations, things are relatively clear. You see a battleship on the horizon and you know it's trouble. Just ask China. Britain's most advanced aircraft carrier is sailing towards the South China Sea. It has already linked up with allies for military drills, allies like India. For the first time, China appears rattled here. An armada of democracies is challenging China. Is this where the tide turns in the South China Sea? Our next report tells you.
This is Britain's flagship carrier, HMS Queen Elizabeth, a throwback to its days of naval supremacy. These guns can shred incoming jets and missiles. This deck can deploy 40 stealth aircraft. It is 65,000 tons of pure firepower, and it's headed straight to China's backyard. Last week, the supercarrier entered the Indian Ocean. It was flanked by 2 destroyers, 2 frigates, 2 support vessels, and ships from the US and the Netherlands. Their first stop was India. British and Indian navies combined for the exercise Konkan, a long-running military drill between the 2 nations. Around 12 ships, 30-plus aircraft, and 4,500 personnel were part of the exercise. A stamp of authority on the waters of the Indian Ocean. From here, the carrier group will sail to the South China Sea, where an armada of democracies will challenge China's illegal claims. It is part of the UK's post-Brexit pivot to Asia. Boris Johnson wants in on the action. And this 10,000-kilometer voyage is his message of intent. Britain wants a fixed presence in the region. Once HMS Queen Elizabeth leaves, 2 British patrol ships will begin a permanent deployment. How does China see these moves? As an overt threat. Chinese military experts have conceded the change of tide. One of them, Song Zongping, had this to say. While the warships in themselves pose some threat to China, the tour's political influence is a bigger threat because other Western countries like Australia and Canada could also follow and form this joint fleet that regularly sails the South China Sea and East China Sea with the aim of confronting China. It's Beijing's biggest fear come true. Democratic allies sailing into the South China Sea. For years, China has treated this region like its playground, bullying smaller nations, occupying disputed islands, and dumping waste when no one's looking. Since March this year, China has parked dozens of PLA ships near the Philippines. They haven't budged, despite warnings, protests, and threats. Stationary ships can quite literally be stinkers. And that's what satellite imagery showed last week. The ships are dumping human waste again and again at the same spot. It's piled so high, you can see it from space. What's the Philippines doing about it? Their Coast Guard claims to have driven away a Chinese warship. Now this is uncharted territory for Beijing. A stiff resistance to their piracy. The South China Sea isn't China's backyard anymore. The alliance of democracies have toppled Beijing's great marine wall. They are sailing through, stopping for military drills and synergizing operations. For a change, the dragon isn't breathing fire, it is puffing fumes. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.